Chris Bell, Yazoo City, Mississippi. I play receiver. Where I'm from, like, relationships don't last, so my parents was broken up. I stayed in a 4-bedroom apartment with my mother and my 3 sisters. It was kind of hard because my mom wasn't present all the time. That led to my sister, my older sister, to take care of us. She made sure we got to school in the morning. She made sure we ate. She made sure we was basically good. She basically was like a mother figure to us at such a young age. I still love my mom. I never hated her. I still love her to this day. I just feel like she was just didn't have her mind made up yet. As I moved from house to house, I kind of started to take care of myself. Things always change, Every house I've been in, it always started good, but things go left. So I end up meeting Justin Levy, which is Boogie, one of my coaches.
I first met Bill at a 7-on-7 tournament in Atlanta. I knew something was different with him because, he was out there looking like a grown man versus playing with kids. It was crazy just watching him, how athletic he was, his personality, how he interacted with others. It was just something very different about him. And I appreciated the small things, how he treated people beside him, whether it was friends or strangers. I don't think he really ever met a stranger.
Boogie started to walk with me in my path with God. Like, he was taking me to church, just me and him staying up at night. He was just reading me, teaching me the word. And I started to, get more interested into it. He was like a father figure to me. Like, he always stopped me from doing the wrong thing, and he always just kept me on the right path. I started to, get a good feel of it. I started to fall in love with the school because not only was we playing sports, but we go to chapel, we sing and we learn about the word. Being on the field, you just free. You just, scoring touchdowns, making people miss. I just love that. Like, I fell in love with competing against other people. It was like my getaway from everything that I was going through in life. I know when I stepped on the field, all those problems was just gone, and it's just me doing the thing that I love to do. U of L was one of my second to last offers I got, and every time I came, I just really fell in love with the place. God told me that I gotta be here. I should be here to meet people like Maurice, which is one of my good friends, my best friends.
The day I met Chris Bell was our move-in day when we came to Louisville. And honestly, before we actually came, we had this little group chat on Twitter. And I went through his Twitter, and we was playing the same position at the time. We were both receivers. And I told my mama that I hope he didn't commit to this school because he was so good at football. When I watched his highlights, I was like, dang. So when we moved in, we just started to click. First moment we met, we had a lot of common. Our background just matched up so similar.
It's crazy how God put him in my life, I saw him in his walk with the Lord, and I just feel like I needed to, do the same thing because he played a big part on me.
Well, I don't want to point him out, but I can say early on, when I first met him, he was a little bit of a hothead. And I know that going to church more and meeting with Chris calmed him down and changed his attitude towards things, and to be more thankful of what he has in life.
One of the things that I love to do is to see the athlete who is behind the helmet, so to speak. Chris and I started to meet on a consistent basis. But I'll never forget, as he started to leave, he peeks his head back into the door and he said, "Can I bring Maurice with me next week?" I was like, absolutely. And he leaves, and I'm like, that's so amazing. That's like Andrew, the disciple, who hears about Jesus, and he tells his brother, Peter. It was Maurice who was maybe more grounded in his walk with Christ. He kind of acted like a big brother to Chris. He may have been the second one invited to the Bible study, but he had more history in the Word. We looked at that God has called us, that God has chosen us, that we are His workmanship.
Chris Morgan, he always just seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. He always told me that God has a plan for me.
The U of L FCA ministry is just like a big happy gathering of all different athletes at U of L. I use it as a way for me to grow closer to God and live for Him. Basically like a playbook, like in football. I try to follow the plays of the Bible and live by that every day.
One doctrine we talked about with Chris is reconciliation. It's about moving from one place to another. Through my whole life, you know, God has always moved me from, you know, a bad place to a better place or a better situation. Through the times where my mom wasn't present, from moving me out of that situation to with my dad, just putting the game of football in my life, you know, putting something in my life that, you know, I really enjoy, to like the moment where I went to that camp and I didn't have money and my friends made a way. I feel like he did that. And from the time I got my first offer, the Lord did all those things to get me, you know, where I am today. I don't think He brought me here just to score a touchdown. I feel like He brought me here to spread my story with other people. My relationship with Christ has elevated so much because I'm learning more about Him, what He got planned for me, and who He want me to be.
Fires one down the field, he's got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Chris Bell. Those explosive plays by Jeff Brom in this offense continue. And Chris Bell pinballs his way into the red zone.
To the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Plummer hits Chris Bell in the end zone.
Chris is so incredibly gifted that I could see him really playing in the National Football League on a Sunday afternoon. However, I see Chris doing exactly what myself and even Maurice is doing to him now. It's pouring into him. Chris has so much to offer to young people that are growing up that maybe have went through situations that can still focus on what God has for their life.